What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the K Rider Forge. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing good. Hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be doing something slightly different, very different from a lot of things that we've always been doing. So as you know, I am more of a Kamen Rider guy, and I would make a lot of Kamen Rider suits. However, FNAF is around the corner. And with FNAF 2 being around the corner, I have an idea. So in the trailer, you would see them use a Freddy mask.
There's no way that'll work.
I think it was a Chica. They used it on a Chica. I think it's fun. It would be fun to print that helmet. I'm going to be using my 3D printer today for this video. I am going to make a small prototype. I'm going to make a larger scale to fit a head. And then hopefully it looks good at the end, because I need to spray it all and stain it all as well. I haven't used my printer in a little while, so let's hope that everything works well. Alright, with that, let's jump right into it. Okay, it's the next day, and here we are with the helmet of the FNAF 2 decoy helmet, I guess you could call it. So I only made it so it goes to here, because in the video games, that's kind of what it covers. You could put it on completely, and it covers up to here. And who knows, maybe in the future I'll make a jaw for it, and that way you can have both Freddy and just the decoy helmet by itself. But if you guys were to look at the helmet, you guys can see that it's not exactly fully even. But let's put it down on the table. You guys can tell that it's kind of lopsided. This side comes out, this side comes inwards, and that's completely fine. It would be better if you got it straight, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do is have this part be the back and have this part be the front. That way you have a front face, kind of how a normal face should be. So this is going to be the front, this is going to be the back, which is fine. As you guys can look and see, there's still seams and everything showing. That's completely fine. There are still like opening spots like right here. That'll all be covered up, so we don't have to worry too much about seams. Just try to make it as even as possible, so when you do cover that up, you don't get a giant overlap on your fold. Alright, so the only thing left to do right now is to make the buff outs. As you guys can tell, in Freddy's head, he doesn't really have a cylindrical face. It's more kind of like a bear.
Well, duh.
So down here, it gets a little bit of a puff on the cheeks. What we're going to do for that is we're going to take these, we're going to cut them out, we're going to stack the layers up, kind of like that. We're going to glue it together. Then we're going to cut out some sort of a curve so it comes out like this and goes all the way around the face. That's going to take a little while. I'm going to probably do about 3 layers of that, and then we'll go all the way around. If it doesn't look right, we'll probably thicken it up or decrease the layer as we go through. I'm going to do 1 layer at a time so I don't accidentally overshoot the goal of what I'm trying to get. So let me run you guys through what we got done so far. So we got the helmet, all foam, all ready to go. And inside, we have literally everything else. We have 2 ears. We have the ear holders. We have 2 eyebrows. I literally just traced it out and then cut it in half. The hardest part was getting the face done. Here's the mouth, and as you guys can see, I wrote down nose. That's going to be the entire front right here. And I know it looks kind of weird right now because I'm missing the hat. I'm missing pretty much everything. But the reason why I'm not putting anything on yet is because all this is all covered in some sort of cloth, fur, or leather. All I gotta do now is go through and cover all these in the proper cloth. As you guys can see, I didn't glue the nose in, so I cover that in black cloth, cover this in light brown cloth, before I can cover everything else in brown cloth. And that should cover up about everything. Yeah, the only thing I need to do before I add in the cloth onto the helmet is cut up holes on the sides so I can stick the ears in. We're gonna get to that right now. Alright, so I made it so these could fit once I get the cloth in, and then I'll glue everything down. I didn't put any openings here. I'll see if he wants openings. If he does, I'll put an opening. If he doesn't, I will leave it as this because this looks pretty decent right now. Then I'll just add on the ears right on top once I get the proper cloth on it. It'll look like that. All right, I'm back. I went to the store, got some fabric. This is the felt fabric. It's nothing really like complicated or expensive. I think like a yard is about $6.99. So I got a couple sheets of these, and now all we're gonna do is take the parts that needs to be the certain color, and we're gonna wrap it all up just like that, but look better. So what do we need? We have a couple of things here. We're going to need something to spread glue with. I'm just gonna use a little bit of foam. We need some sort of glue. I'm going to use contact cement. It's still promising. It works so far. I haven't seen anything wrong with it. And then we need some sort of new sort of cutter. So I bought a real cheap scissor. It's still sharp. It still cuts the fabric just fine. Nothing dull about it. So we're going to be using that to wrap this thing up, cut it up to shape, and then using the glue to apply it all in. Now that the glue's dried on that one spot, we're going to just gently apply it on. And it should, because we didn't stick glue onto the other side anywhere else, it should only stick to that spot. Now all we're going to do now is we're going to slowly feed it around so it matches the shape, and hopefully in the end it covers the whole thing up. So I'm going to speed this up and see how far we get. Hopefully it doesn't look too ugly by the time I'm done with it. Alright, so this is day, I lost count. We are almost done with it. So what I did here is I cut a little opening here. That way when you put it on, you have a little entrance for your mouth and your nose so you can breathe properly. It also helps because it doesn't really matter since this will be covering the front anyways. So that means if you guys want to go further back, you guys can. I'm going to probably go back just about another ½ inch or so. I think it'll work out. All right, but moving on from that, I have officially finished all the pieces that can be glued onto the helmet once we are done. However, as you guys saw, the helmet itself still needs to be covered. I here cut a really long dark brown cloth just to put around here. I will be doing this in 3 parts. So I will be doing this part first, the dark brown cloth here, and then I will be doing one that wraps around the whole thing. Then I will be doing a top layer, and after we do the top layer, we're going to make the hat. Okay, so we got a lot to do and very few time to do it. I hope I can finish it today because I've been working on this one for a while. So let's get into it. Alright, so the helmet is finally done. Here's how it looks right now. If you guys are asking, I have the hat right here. I did make it out of foam as well. And it does stay on, kind of. Okay. It's still really movable. I left it like that so there's a little bit of free room to mess around with it. But overall, I added a little magnet here, which just kind of holds it all into spot. And I can do this without losing the hat. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed making it a lot. There was a little bit of struggle and implications. Originally, I was going to 3D print the whole thing, but that kind of went out the window after I stumbled across some things and I decided to go against that. Also because I find that making things by hand is just a little more fun in my case. So I'm going to try and not use a 3D printer as much as people use it for. I just feel a little less accomplished when I personally use it. It's okay if people uses it. I don't judge. I still have mine. I love it so much to this point. I won't give it up. But I'm going to try and use more hand stuff in this channel. Only when there's minor things that I really need 3D printed, I will 3D print. But other than that, that's kind of all we have. The helmet's done, and I'm happy with it. I'm not going to complain too much. Peace out, guys.